Formula One, a sport that spans hearts, minds and nations, where the 20 best drivers in the world come together to take on some of the world's most historic circuits. And that legacy continues today. The 2021 championship was thrilling from start to finish, and 2022 is set to be even better. New regulations will usher in an age of pioneering changes. New driving talent alongside returning champions will be dueling it out to the bitter end. The pressure will be on the team principals in the upcoming season as they manage their drivers, their cars and the whole team to push to victory. This is not a challenge for the faint-hearted. This is Formula One. Mercedes returned to F1 in 2010, and since 2014 they've won the Constructors' Championships back-to-back every year. In 2021 they took home the Constructors' Championship once more, although they narrowly missed out on the Drivers' Championship, coming in second. Heading into 2022, Mercedes will insist on dominating the competition. Nothing less than the fastest car and the most wins will give the Silver Arrows the outcome they want to see at the end of this new season and beyond. The Red Bull team burst onto the F1 scene in 2005, and ever since 2009, they've been one of the top 3 teams in the championship. Last season ended brilliantly for them. Max Verstappen won the prestigious Drivers' Championship, and Red Bull are flying high once more. Heading into 2022 under the right leadership, Red Bull could find themselves heading up the pack once more. They'll certainly be hoping to end the season with not 1 but 2 championship trophies for their cabinet back home in Milton Keynes. Ferrari have entered Formula One every year since the World Championship began back in 1950. They still hold the most championship titles of any team. The team had a solid season in 2021, securing 3rd place in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari are very much in it to win it. With strong leadership over the 2022 season and beyond, expect to see them fighting for those podium places. If all goes well, they'll be aiming for that top spot as the seasons progress. McLaren are a cornerstone of F1, having been part of the sport since 1966 and winning numerous drivers and constructors' championships over the years. Last season they came a respectable 4th overall, with Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris securing the only 1-2 finish of the season. The talented driver pairing of Ricciardo and Norris returns for McLaren this season, and one thing is certain, they're not going to settle until they're reigning champions once more. Alpine was a new name in 2021, bringing F1 drivers Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon back into the spotlight. Alpine finished the 2021 season in 5th place in the constructors' standings, with their first race win secured by Ocon at the Hungarian Grand Prix. 2022 will be a formative season for Alpine as they return with the tried and trusted driver pairing of Alonso and Ocon. In a few years' time, with the right leadership, they could well become championship contenders. AlphaTauri have been a name in Formula One since 2020. They're renowned for being the proving ground for talented new F1 drivers. Last season they ended in 6th overall. Driver Pierre Gasly also earned them an impressive podium finish in Baku. Heading into 2022, the team continued to develop their current driver pairing of Yuki Tsunoda and Gasly. They'll want to continue scoring regular points and begin working their way past the other midfield contenders. 2021 was Aston Martin's first full season in Formula One. They roared onto the scene with Sebastian Vettel, the legendary 4-time world champion, in one of those coveted driving seats. Despite some teething problems in testing, Aston Martin gave a solid showing and finished the season in 7th place overall. Heading into 2022 with Lance Stroll and Vettel behind the wheel, Aston Martin have the potential to become regular podium contenders. But it's going to take strong leadership and shrewd investment to get them there. Williams is a legendary name in F1, winning 9 Constructors' Championships in their heyday. The Williams family sold the team in 2020, and the 2021 season saw them fighting well from start to end. They finished 8th overall, thanks to some incredible performances by George Russell in his last year as a Williams driver. In 2022, Williams have Nicholas Latifi and new signing Alex Albon, returning to F1 after a year away to make up their driver team. The pressure is on for them to up their performance this season and push their way back towards those midfield places. Alfa Romeo boast an impressive Formula One history, dating right back to 1950 when they won the very first Drivers' World Championship. However, 2021 saw them finish in 9th overall, with no podium finishes to their name. The team usher in 2022 with a brand new driver lineup. They're joined by F1's first ever Chinese race driver Zhou, as well as veteran Valtteri Bottas, as they build their way back to becoming regular point scorers. Haas joined F1 back in 2016, and they've had a good start to their team career, peaking at 5th place in 2018. Last season they finished 10th, but they spent a lot of time and focus on designing their car for 2022 and strategizing for the future. Going into the 2022 season, Haas hope to have a strong car design under their belts. Coupled with hungry drivers, an ambitious team and strong leadership, they'll be pushing their performance and fighting their way back to the midfield.
Hi there. Nice to meet you. I'm Audrey Menser, one of the team's senior engineers. welcome to the team. It's great to have you on board. We have a strong driver lineup here at McLaren and a great team behind the scenes. And we're all feeling optimistic for this upcoming season. Let's not waste any time getting you settled in. As our new team principal, you're responsible for a lot of aspects of the team. Everything from managing our team's growth, overseeing our finances, and deciding on race day strategies will be in your hands. You can keep an eye on most things from your dashboard here. I can take you through it now. First up, an overview of the board. They're the ones who set the expectations for the team. If they're confident in your leadership, you'll be fine. If they lose confidence in you, however, they might look to replace you. The board sets season objectives for the team to achieve. Reaching them will help keep confidence high, so be sure to familiarise yourself with what's expected. You'll want to keep an eye on the long-term objective for beyond this season as well. Okay then, let's look ahead to the race weekend. We need to start preparing for the next Grand Prix, which will be the first of the season. As it's your first day, though, there's nothing urgent for you to address. Feel free to explore more, or you can select continue and sign off for the day. Once you do, time will pass, but don't worry about missing anything. You'll automatically sign back in if an important event comes up. This is your calendar for the month. Pay attention to the events that have been marked. The race weekends have already been added for you. More events will get added as the season progresses. This is where you'll carry out your final preparations for the next race. We'll come back here later. One of my favourite places. This is where the car builds happen, and where we develop and store our car parts. Throughout the season, you'll want to make sure the team are working on upgrading components, and that both cars are being kept in good repair. You can also use car analysis to compare our car builds to other teams. This is the warehouse. The engineering team have just finished manufacturing a suspension system of a brand new design. Well-designed suspension is crucial to the aerodynamic potential of a race car. We always want the best components possible on our cars, so it's worth checking to see if we should install this one instead of the model we currently have. Right, all the available suspension designs are here to look through. Notice how both cars currently have the same suspension design installed. Check the new design at the top of the list. As each car can only have one suspension... Looks like this new design only has positive impacts on the car. That's great news. We only have one copy of this suspension at the moment, so you need to decide which car to install it on. Select the new suspension design and get it installed. Can't... Great if you don't want the team... It takes the team a while to manufacture a new car part. To start a project now, you'll need to commit money and engineering. There are 3 different types of projects the engineering team can work on. We can design a new car part for use this season, manufacture copies of existing designs, or undertake research and develop our expertise for next season. Are you sure you want to start a new project now? Okay, you want to get started with a design project. These are car parts we can design and manufacture in-house. Each car part impacts different areas of a car's performance, but certain car parts will have a greater impact than others. You can also view our car performance by rank on grid. This is a useful comparison tool and lets you see how our performance compares to that of all the other cars on the grid. Take a look over the different car parts. The highlights indicate which performance areas they impact the most. Pick one that impacts the ratings you want to improve. The team's expertise in making new car parts improves with experience, so each new design is likely to be better than an older one. Just make sure to check the new design against the one currently installed. Testing is also an important step in designing a new car part. Our testing time is limited throughout the season, and it's up to you to decide how much to commit to each design project. If you assign some testing time to this design now, you can see what effect it will have on the car part. Once you've taken a look, let's continue. You can direct the engineering team to focus on specific areas of performance. F1 car parts are complex, and sometimes you'll have to sacrifice performance in one area to achieve gains in another. Over the season, we'll understand more about our car's performance, which will help you to guide the team's design focus. You can try altering the focus now if you like, or else stick with a balanced approach. When you're ready, continue with the process. As a final step before the team gets started on this design project, you need to decide how many engineers you want working on it. You should also decide what approach they should take. Bear in mind, these decisions will have an impact on the duration and cost of the project. When you're happy with everything, confirm the project and the team will get started. Nice work. That's the project started. If you check your calendar, you'll see the team have given you a delivery date for the design. Once it's complete, you'll be able to manufacture that part anytime. Continually designing new car parts is imperative to improving our team's performance and staying competitive on the track. Check out the car analysis area regularly to see how our cars compare to others on the grid. This is where you'll find relevant information on the team's drivers and reserve driver, including their performance ratings and contract details. You can also scout for new drivers to make sure we have the best driver pairing we can. It's not just the fastest car that makes a team the best in F1. It's the people doing the hard work behind the scenes. Manage your staff from here, from department heads to your pit crew, and keep up to date on their performance. you can delve deeper into team finances and see our balance, as well as understanding information on income and rewards, and the enforced spending caps we have to abide by. Don't forget to check in with the board often. You can monitor board confidence levels, your available budget, and your progress towards a greater team rating from here. From here, you can see all the team's facilities, from the staff buildings to the car park development centres. You can build new facilities or, if the team has the time and money, upgrade our existing ones. Facilities affect all areas of our team's performance. Over time, It's no longer your first day. We'll have you on top of things in no time. You'll continue moving through days this way until it's time for the race, which you can see in the upcoming events list. It's good to get in the habit of regularly checking that list. Let's take a look at what needs doing today. You have an alert in the top corner. There's an important email awaiting a response, so you should check your inbox when you're ready. Looks like you've received a budget approval. I reckon that's a good decision. It should keep the team in high spirits anyway. Now that's dealt with, We're getting very close to race day now. Just continue to do anything that's needed. In the future, you'll... There's always some final work to do before we can set off. Check your inbox for the race prep report on this weekend's circuit. Okay, you have all the information you should need. Let's head to race preparation to see if there's any remaining tasks for us to complete. This is your race preparation area, where you'll get the team ready for the upcoming race weekend. You can also find all the information you need on the circuit we're racing on here. One thing you'll always need to do before each race weekend is setting our performance targets. These help us generate more potential rewards for the team. Here we've got the performance targets for this coming weekend. If we meet these, we'll gain extra revenue.
There we go. Alright, now.
Looks like we've got incentives for both the qualifying session and the race. If we can reach those targets, we'll get an additional payout, and it won't cost the team anything if we don't meet them. You can also decide to add targets here and offer our sponsors guarantees. These are a risk, as we face a potential financial loss if we don't meet them. But if we do, we'll gain a much larger reward. Okay, if you want to offer a guarantee, I see you like a challenge. Okay,
Yeah. Hold on. Both drivers. And I'm going to be at least 15th place. 4 times. Okay, and then this one. I doubt we'll have the fastest lap, but this I want to do both drivers at least over 15th place. That way I can make a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit of money. And then this one, at least one is there. And have both drivers re-round 2. I think I'm ready now.
You've done everything needed, and the team can't wait to get started. It's time for the first race of the season. You can take some more time to look around if you like. When you're ready, let's get this show on the road.
Alright, let's see how well we do. It's McLaren. Because it's Ferrari, I do really good.
Welcome to the archipelago of Formula One. Bahrain might have a small land footprint, but it's showing its big spirit right now in the grandstands. Either way, it's time for another fantastic weekend of Grand Prix racing. The Bahrain International Circuit is a challenging track, and the cars routinely have to brake from high gear to low to take the narrow turns. With the need for downhill braking, the risk of locking up is one drivers will need to manage. It's all about focus and balance to get victory here. At this early stage in the season, there are still plenty of opportunities for things to change. In this sport, there simply are no guarantees. What will happen this weekend? Only time will tell.
Great to see you again. Welcome to your first race weekend with the team. It's Friday, so we're kicking off with free practice 1 as usual. Over here is our race preparation area. This is where you can make any changes you need ahead of the upcoming practice session. Rest assured the team have already prepared the cars for practice. When you're ready, we can continue to the practice session. During race weekends, you can decide whether you want to manage the practice sessions yourself or whether to hand over control to your team. As it's your first race weekend, you should let the team handle the practice sessions.
I don't think we should do it all, but if you say so.
We return to our highly anticipated race weekend, just in time for the start of qualifying. There are no more chances to practice this weekend. It gets serious from now on in, as our teams prepare to record their best lap times ahead of tomorrow's race. One good lap isn't enough to guarantee a strong position, with consistency absolutely essential for those looking to succeed. You're going to want to join us for this, folks, so fasten your seatbelts.
To help maximise our drivers' performance, the team have them work on 3 goals during practice: track acclimatisation, car parts knowledge, and setup confidence. If you manage the session yourself, you might get an even better performance from the drivers for the rest of the weekend. Right, time for qualifying. Our results here will determine where we start on the grid for Sunday's race. Qualifying takes place over 3... Same as practice, the team can handle qualifying for... Our drivers need to be setting their fastest possible lap times, so we can advance to the next... Keep a careful eye on time. Right then, let's get a car...
Sessions should be starting now.
Alright, Daniel, let's do this, bro.
You can also use the map view if you like. Remember your
forward a little bit to get on that straightaway here. Alright, let's see what they can do.
That's a decent time for a flying lap. Keep an eye on the standings throughout the session. Right then. That I know everything happens so...
Yeah.
Our driver is back in the pits. You need to reconfigure the car before we can send them back out. The team will make sure the run plan is updated to include refueling, so all you have to do is fit some fresh tyres. Here you can... We want... I wouldn't recommend using... The track will have more grip later.
Someone's run wide! They've locked up and gone straight on!
We're through to Q2. Great work. In Q2, the fastest 15... It's up to you whether you manage the rest of the qualifying rounds. If you want, you can let the team take control, so you can focus on the upcoming race.
I'm just gonna run into the race now. I know I'm not gonna make it past Q2, but you know, yep. Definitely didn't make it to Q3 for sure.
Drivers are strapping themselves in, ready for race day.
McLaren did a decent job during qualifying. This is a solid grid position, and it certainly has the potential to lead to good race results. Ferrari performed brilliantly during qualifying and will be very pleased with their grid positions. But the challenge for them will be to keep the momentum going during the race. We've been having lovely clear weather, although there are a few clouds lurking. Hopefully they'll stay in check for the duration of the race.
And there's going to be a lot for the teams to handle. So will the drivers and their cars be able to cope with the pressure? Let's find out right here at the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Right then, time for the main event, the Bahrain Grand Prix. This is a great time for us to get some early points under our belt. So let's stay focused and push hard. Each driver will need to make at least one pit stop to fit new tyres. On average, a pit stop will cost a driver about 25 seconds. So we need to think carefully about when to pit and why. Let's set a tyre strategy for our drivers now. We need to make sure we have a good plan for when we want the cars to pit. Every race weekend, the team will prepare some recommended strategies to choose from. Let's see what they suggest for this race. Okay, strategy A is a fast but risky option, relying on 2 soft stints and no hard compound at all. Strategy B is a well-balanced option. 2 soft stints and a nice long middle stint on a hard compound. Right. Strategy C is a slower but safe option for this track. We'll tackle the final stint on a medium compound instead of a soft tyre. If you think a different approach could work... Right. Strategy... You should consider picking a different strategy for each driver. This gives us a chance to take advantage of in-race events and means we won't have both cars pitting on the same lap. That's both drivers with a set strategy.
All right.
A partly clear night here. The drivers now lined up on the grid. And there's Lando Norris. They're starting in the bottom half of the grid today, so there's a lot of cars between them and the podium. And behind them, it's Ricciardo. They're in the back half of the pack, so they'll need to work hard if they want a podium finish. The teams are ready to go. And this is it, the Bahrain Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Let's see how well they do with a couple laps here.
During the race itself, you can direct the team drivers in 3 main ways.
Yeah,
Increase pace. You can instruct finally.
Ooh, car crashes.
Virtual safety car, virtual safety car.
Yep, understood.
Yellow flags where you are.
Yeah, confirm.
Here's the replay. Okay, so there we have the Alpine. And there's the hit. And it's crystal clear who was in the wrong there. And that was a bitter blow for the team. And it may have really hurt their overall chances.
Managing pace. Keep an eye.
Just be careful with this tyre.
Yeah, all good.
Let's try and push up.
As the race progresses, remember to keep an eye on the planned strategy. The data view. During the race, you can use the you can also... From the data here, you can... There's...
DRS enabled. DRS enabled.
Fuel commands allow... Just keep an eye on your remain. Okay, our driver has just entered the pit window. The pit window encompasses the laps that cover the planned pit stops in your strategy. This means it's nearly time to call the planned pit stop. Unless you think there's a reason to pit immediately, I always recommend sticking to the strategy and pitting on the optimal lap.
I think there's been a lockup.
Right, let's talk tyres. During dry races, all cars need to use at least 2 different tyre compounds. If a car doesn't comply with this rule, it will be disqualified from the race. Ultimately, it's your decision on which tyre compounds we go for. Although I'd strongly recommend, once you've decided which...
Box now, box now.
Okay, box confirmed.
Okay, we will box this lap.
Yeah, confirm. Happy to box at the end.
Oh, we've had a spin. McLaren gain a position. Was that a lockup on the track? And McLaren with a great overtake.
If a drive... There are 3 harvest will prime.
AlphaTauri gained a place.
Okay, I had a lockout.
Copy, copy.
God damn it.
And that's the lockup! Alfa Romeo just moved up a place.
Okay, so France are taking a bit of a beating.
Copy.
So I need to look after these tyres. Yeah, I'm swinging a low in the rear.
Okay, understood.
Can we change tyres?
Oh, come on, Ricardo.
Let's
What the
take a look at
fuck,
the
bro?
replay. Daniel Ricciardo involved here. And yes, that's where they spin out.
Oh, God.
The team are really disappointed with that. Let's hope it doesn't set them back too badly.
Come on, Ricardo. What the hell, bro? What's up, Chris?
Sounds like someone's locked up. Oh, big lock up there.
Kicking ass on Outriders right now.
No, well, I mean, that's fun.
That's a position gained for AlphaTauri.
This is the last lap.
It's Leclerc. Charles Leclerc is today's winner. Let's have a look. Charles Leclerc there, taking home the win.
What an amazing finish to a thrilling race. It's a real testament to their skills and the team's engineering.
Well, I mean, at least I finished in the top 15. Well, I ain't got no fucking points though because of that shit. I really don't like fucking McLaren anymore. I don't understand what's going on with them. Used to be a decent fucking team. I don't know what happened.
That is the checkered flag.
Did a week editing?
Fuck.
And that's good enough work from Lando Norris this weekend. McLaren showed some good stuff here today, but they'll be building on that now to try and improve their results next time.
I agree, they have some ironing out to do, but they certainly have what it takes to get there.
And as this race weekend comes to a close, the team is 8th in the constructor standings.
The teams now look ahead to the next round, where they'll duel it out in the sand dunes of Saudi Arabia.
Fucking Kevin made a point. God damn it. Not
The team's drivers gain experience over each race weekend.
You know what? I'm gonna take a team and fucking make it better.
That could have gone better. The board's confidence probably took a dip. You may want to check the board menu for more. Take a look at what that suspension we installed. If you ever... Okay.
Shut up, bitch. Let's start a new one.
Mercedes returned to it.
Alfa
Alfa Romeo boast an impressive Formula One history, dating right back to 1950 when they won the very first Drivers' World Championship. However, 2021 saw them finish in 9th overall, with no podium finishes to their name. The team usher in 2022 with a brand new driver lineup. They're joined by F1's first ever Chinese race driver, Zhou, as well as veteran Valtteri Bottas, as they build their way back to becoming regular point scorers.
Yeah, I'm done playing for now.